Okay. You probably don't even need me anymore to sing our memory verse song with you. You probably can do it all by yourself. So let's see if I can start you out and you finish it. Here we go. God will indeed give what is good. I bet you already you didn't even need me. Psalm 85, verse 12. Psalm 85, verse 12. All right, I'll do the motions. You sing along. Here we go. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. All right, today, y'all, we're talking about a good thing that God gives. So come with me. We're going to check out our Bibles together, see what God is up to this morning. Here we are at the table of contents, the very beginning pages of your Bible. And I want you to look down the column of Old Testament and I want you to find Samuel, Samuel, with the number 1 in front of it. First Samuel, that's where we're looking this morning. All right, so go check it out in your Bible, First Samuel. In my Bible, it starts on page 212. In your Bible, it might be similar, might be a little different. Then I want you to find the number, the big number 18. That's chapter 18. And then I want you to look for verse number 1. There might be a little 1 next to it, or there might not. It might just be, it starts out. This morning, we're learning about something that God has given that is good indeed, and that's a friend. God has given a friend. When you have a good friend, there is nothing like it. When you are a good friend, there is absolutely nothing like it. I want you to read with me about 2 amazing friends in the Bible. Their names are David. When David had finished speaking to Saul, the soul of Jonathan was bound to the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. You guys, the 2 fellas we're talking about this morning are a guy named David and a guy named Jonathan. They become connected in their hearts, real true friends. So I want you to look in chapter 18. And then I want you to flip over to chapter 19 and verses 1 through 7. You will find out more about their friendship. And finally, in chapter 20, if you have some time, you can read almost the whole chapter sometime this week. Share some time with your family. You will find out when you read that David and Jonathan are amazing friends to each other. Listen. David is going to be the king of Israel someday. And the king now, his name is Saul. He has a son named Jonathan. And listen, Jonathan and David become good friends. But Saul, he gets really jealous of David because David's going to take his place someday. But even though Jonathan is Saul's son, he still knows that David is supposed to be the king. And when Saul tries to get rid of David, tries to kill him, Jonathan is a true friend and does what is right and sticks up for David, and he takes care of him. And the 2 of them are amazing friends to each other. They do some awesome things. Okay, let's find out what some things they do. Come along with me. Now, you saw in your Bible that one thing Jonathan did for David to be a true friend was to share what he had with him, y'all. He takes off his coat, he shares it with David. He gives him his armor, he gives him his bow, his belt, his everything. And he says, I know you're going to need this because you're a mighty warrior for God. And listen, you can be a friend too by sharing what you have. Last night, my friend made some delicious soup. And he could have saved it all for himself. He's a good cook. But listen, he came and dropped some off at our house. How amazing is that? He was a true friend, and he thought of me and ahead of himself even, and brought me some soup. So one way you can be a true friend is by sharing what you have. All right, let's check out how else can you be a true friend, just like Jonathan and David. Come along. Now, here I am. I'm thinking about how last week it was my husband's birthday. And some people were a true friend to him. They thought of him and sent him a card. He went to the mailbox that day, he opened it, and there were some cards for him. It seems like a simple thing, but one way you could be a friend is just by thinking of somebody else and write them a little note, write them a card. That's a true friend. Let's see what else. I'm over here in the office working on the computer, you guys. Okay, so one way that Jonathan is an awesome friend to David is that Saul, the king, he starts dogging David. He starts talking all this trash about him. And Jonathan, even though he's Saul's son, he sticks up for David. And he says, no, this is the real thing. Dad, let me tell you who David really is. And so I'm working on an email, y'all. I have a friend who's kind of going through some stuff, and some people have been talking bad about her. And so I'm working on a little email that kind of goes to talk about her character, that kind of says, you know what? This woman is a real, true, honorable woman. She's awesome, and I'm trying to stick up for her. She's going through some stuff. One way you can be a friend is when they're going through some stuff, you take up for that person. Yes, just like Jonathan. Let's see what else we can do. I want to show you an old picture of my husband and I, Rob and I. That's my family, you guys. Now, he is so special to me. And the thing is, one way you can be a friend is actually by taking care of someone else's family. Now, that seems kind of crazy, but what Jonathan did for David, what David did for Jonathan, how he was a good friend to him. Now, when David became king, he could have just said, you know what, Jonathan's family, I don't care about them. But instead, he was a true friend to Jonathan. He took care of even Jonathan's family. So maybe you know somebody who they can't take good care of their family, or they're having trouble in their family. You could be a friend by taking care of their own family. Whoa, now that's a whole other level you can go to. So if you have a friend who's maybe struggling with some stuff, having a hard time, why don't you be a friend to even their family? Encourage their family, take care of their family, do something special for even their family, not even your friend, but their family. Now that goes the extra mile. You guys, I got one more thing I want to show you. It's a really special cross that my friend made for me, and it's right here. It's hanging on our wall, and it's there all the time. And that person, he took extra care. He took some old wood. He made a beautiful cross there for us. You see it in the background. And I you know what? We hang it by the door all the time because that shows he gave up something that was meaningful to him and gave it to us. Now, that's also a way you can be a true friend. Listen, you guys, there's so many ways you can be a true friend like David and Jonathan, because listen, God gave us what is good, and he gives us what is good, and we want to take care of it. I love y'all. I'll see you soon.